Super excited to be here, guys. I hope you guys like my little oyster baby cartoon. I'll be selling t-shirts later. So the South Australian oysters are well renowned for their clean and premium quality. But industry faces several disadvantages, including climate change and frequent viral outbreaks, which makes oysters' health very important for us to keep up with production demand. Working with my industry partner, Zipple Enterprises, we have analysed the nutritional profiles of the South Australian Pacific oyster, and we found that their zinc and copper concentrations are markedly lower to that of other global production regions, which you can see in the graph. Now, these oysters still live and survive. However, zinc and copper are vital for shell strength, immunity, and growth performance. So previous research has actually shown that by enriching oyster tissue with these trace metals, we can boost immunity and we can improve growth performance. So the question is, can we strengthen our South Australian oysters by supplementing these missing trace metals through their microalgae feed? So oysters naturally rely on microalgae for their nutrients. However, in South Australia, we have very low concentrations of these trace metals. So our solution is to fortify zinc and copper in the microalgae using a photobioreactor, which is a closed controlled system built for growing algae at scale. So we'll feed the spat in the hatchery with this enriched algae right before they go out into the farm so we can give them a nutritional head start. So my honours project focused on the first step, which is the fortification of zinc and copper in the microalgae. So most of these enriching studies are done in small-scale static flasks, but when working with industry, we needed scalable results. So my project is one of the first to test a photobioreactor for agriculture supplementation. So we found that Cutosaurus calcitrans grown in a reactor environment can actually uptake 3 times the amount of zinc and more than double the amount of copper to what you would see in a small-scale static environment. Now, these reactors enable this by having tightly controlled light, mixing, nutrients and pH, creating stable conditions that enable and drive high metal uptake to what you would see at smaller scale. So this shows that enriched algae can be a powerful supplement, giving oysters access to these trace metals that are naturally scarce in South Australian waters. So the next step in this work is to run feeding trials. We'll measure how much of this zinc and copper is actually transferred from the microalgae feed to the oyster tissue and whether or not this improves spat survival and performance. We'll also compare different algae species to identify the most efficient bioaccumulators. So this strategy has the potential to transform the South Australian agriculture, producing stronger, more resilient oysters and securing our place as a leader in premium world-class seafood. By giving oysters the nutrients they need from the very start, we can future-proof this industry, strengthening our hatchery survival, farm productivity, and South Australia's reputation for excellence. Thank you.